Under the somber gray skies of Ithaca's South Hill, the Ithaca College men's lacrosse team looks to snap a skid. In doing so, they'll face an opponent that brings nothing new and yet everything to the table, a nationally ranked top 10 opponent. The Bombers, coming off 3 consecutive losses, all to ranked foes, now square off against the number 4 nationally ranked St. Lawrence Saints in a conference tussle. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome under the typically April skies of Ithaca to Higgins Stadium, right here on VIC Radio and the Bomber Radio Network. I'm Tobias Zabore, joined alongside Morgan Spriggs. And Morgan, an inflection point in the Bomber season today. What does a win mean for this Bombers team? And more importantly, what would a loss against St. Lawrence mean for Ithaca?
Well, starting on the positive side with the win for Ithaca, it would mean their first conference win. It would mean they snap a 3-game losing streak. They've lost 14 consecutive games against ranked foes. Their last win over a ranked team was in 2021. This would be a massive win for Ithaca. It would jumpstart their playoff hopes. They are 7th in the Liberty League right now against the 3rd ranked Liberty League team in the St. Lawrence Saints. This would be a huge matchup for them today. But for a loss, it would honestly be more the same for Ithaca. They are in the 4th and final game of the stretch where they face nationally ranked opponents. This has been a brutal schedule, and unfortunately they have not been up to the task in the previous 3 games. It would be nothing new for Ithaca, but let's see if they could go up to the challenge and take on these Saints.
And you talk about nothing new. We're going to go back to Wednesday night when this, and we're going to have to send it to break right now here on the Bomber Radio Network. Anthem, they usually introduce lineups. They went right into back from the national anthem here on Ithaca's South Hill as the Bombers get ready to take on the St. Lawrence Saints in a conference tussle for men's lacrosse. Unranked Ithaca versus number 4 St. Lawrence. And Morgan, we were talking about it a little bit earlier, but let's go back to Wednesday night as these teams get set to take the field very quickly. What worked for Ithaca in their comeback win?
Well, I think you have to start with the offense, with Charlie Niebuhr and John Ceramic really leading the way. And Charlie Niebuhr had a hat trick in the last game against RIT. But honestly, what I want to see from Ithaca is to start out strong. They cannot fall behind by these double-digit goal deficits and expect to come back, because it's really difficult, especially against the best goalie in the Liberty League, and Michael Marianello, who leads the conference in goals against average at 7.12. The offense worked for Ithaca in the 4th quarter, but they need to show up the entire game.
As we see these teams take the field, Bombers will start by moving from left to right. St. Lawrence will be moving from right to left. The Bombers wearing their white uniforms with blue block lettering and Ithaca stylized script across the front. St. Lawrence in their all reds, red helmets, red uniforms, red shorts with white numbering and lettering across the front. Bombers in their gray shorts. In the face-off circle, the Bombers trying to get this one started. We are underway as Jace Docks will move back in the defense. Chris Soule wins the face-offs. And the Bombers trying to down a ranked foe at home for what would be the first time since 2021. And the offense starts out. Graham Brady in transition with the ball, right underneath the Ithaca logo. As a Bombers team that had a spirited comeback against number 3 nationally ranked RIT on Wednesday night, was unable to come up with it. Now drives inside the attacking zone, goes a little bit underneath, but John Ceramic is there.
A player I'm looking for Ithaca to see perform better and have shots go in the net is Graham Brady. He has 34 shots in goal this season, but only 13 have gone in the net. Let's see if he can pepper the net.
Baker drives inside, take a shot, but a save by the Saints as their goalie on the day, Michael Marianello. He gets his first action and comes away with it in St. Lawrence in transition. St. Lawrence in the season 11-1. They are undefeated in conference play, making the trip down from Canton, New York, as they quickly have the ball inside the attacking zone for the Bombers.
This is a tough task for Cole Corrigan and this Bomber defense. St. Lawrence has been held under 2 goals just 3 times this season. They are a really high-powered offense, of course led by Ben Hutchinson, who leads the team in many offensive categories.
Well, now St. Lawrence driving inside, a little pass underneath, and they're going to look to set the offense up around that goal line extended. Pass towards the top of the arc. St. Lawrence driving inside. Shot scores! St. Lawrence jumps on it immediately. It's Cam Croasdale and the Saints. 13:28 left in the first, and it's already 1-0 for the team from Canton.
That's right, Cam Croasdale, his 19th goal of the season. That ranks 3rd on the St. Lawrence Saints. Cole Corrigan already giving up a goal on his first shot. A tough start for the Bombers as they looked to get the early lead, but can't do it there. 1-0 SLU.
And Higgins Stadium has seen a lot of blowouts recently on both sides of Lacrosse as this face-off going to be a bit of pinball action towards the middle. Earlier today, the women's team dismantled RPI. Earlier in the week, they dismantled the number 2 William Smith Herons. Meanwhile, on the other side, RPI took down the Bombers, in fairly convincing fashion on Wednesday night, as we've already discussed. And an errant pass by the Bombers. Sloppy mistakes were almost the story of that game against the Tigers early, and already it's a factor as St. Lawrence moves in transition.
Well, something that Ithaca's done well throughout the entire season is limiting the turnovers. They've had the 3rd least turnovers in the Liberty League. In order to even stay competitive with St. Lawrence in this game, they have to limit the mistakes. They just had one there, and hopefully it doesn't spell of bad things to come for the rest of the game.
Well, the Saints on the far side as they move it in close, passing it around in a big arc, trying to find a cut inside, already up 1-0 with 12:41 to go in the first quarter. 50 on the shot clock, driving inside a little bit behind the goal as St. Lawrence gets to set up. Little turn inside, defense is a bit too strong, pass back underneath. No cutting action, so instead Saints go inside. There's a sidewind and a nice save by Cole Corrigan. He plucks it out of the air, and we stay 1-0, 12:22.
Judge Murphy just had that shot that saved by Cole Corrigan. He leads St. Lawrence with 40 goals on the year. That's a huge save for Cole Corrigan to get his rhythm with him, to make a save, feel good about himself, and especially with a threat like Murphy, stopping him right there is a huge, huge play for the Bombers.
Well, Trip Clark made the pass in transition for the Saints, and now they move it away as St. Lawrence possess it in the middle of the field. Now quick driving inside. Speed was a factor in the RIT game. Bombers could not contend with the speed of the Tigers. St. Lawrence trying to do it early as losing a ball inside the cradle, but holding back onto it is Cam Croasdale.
It was Liam Lennon pestering Cam Croasdale there and preventing him from gaining any momentum going to the net.
Croasdale took a shot. It was knocked down by Corrigan, and eventually Corrigan picks it up off the turf. 11:30 to go in the first quarter. Bombers trailing St. Lawrence 1-0. As the Bombers hold on the ball on offense, just their 3rd offensive possession of tonight's contest. As Corrigan, all the way out of net, finally finds his pass, and Ithaca takes over across the mid-stripe line. All the way on the far side is Ethan Flanagan. Flanagan looks and he goes for Ceramic, but the ball goes wide of John Ceramic, and it's going to be St. Lawrence ball. As
I mentioned earlier, sloppy mistakes is not going to lead to good things for Ithaca. Another turnover there as the pass by number 9, Ethan Flanagan, goes wide for Ceramic on the near side. That's not good for Ithaca.
It's going to be Caleb Torres making his 11th start of the year in 12 contests for the Saints. And now they'll pass it around the middle. Just holding on, it is John Mahoney. He'll wait for a pass towards him by Zach Corsi. Mahoney drives inside. He'll go towards that goal line extended. Brought out by the men in red as St. Lawrence moves inside. 10:34 to go in the first. Bounce pass is a bit wide, but eventually picked up by St. Lawrence. 43 seconds on the shot clock. A bad shot, but it works out to the liking of the Saints. Inside, and there's going to be some bodying going on in there. No whistle blown. They'll clear it. Bomber ball.
Great defense by Ithaca, smothering up the space right near the crease. And a great job specifically for Aiden Martin there, preventing any shot attempt.
So the Bombers now try to find an open Michael Gilliam, and Michael Gilliam passes it around. Over to Ceramic. John Ceramic sends it back as the Bombers have only entered the attacking zone once today. They hold just beyond that yellow and blue line. 9:47 to go in quarter number one as the Bombers trail 1-0 to St. Lawrence. Hanging out by the top of the Ithaca logo, now driving inside. Back down towards that goal line extended, 9:30 on the clock. Ceramic moves towards the top of the arc, and he's going to be bullied into passing it all the way over to Aiden Friedman. Excuse me, that one is held on to as the Bombers try to pass it around underneath. And once again, holding on it all the way towards the bottom is Ithaca. 9:15 to go in the first quarter, only 15 seconds in the shot clock. So the Bombers have to get something going here. Charlie Niebuhr goes behind the net, and he'll pass it back out. 10 seconds in the shot clock. Niebuhr pestered, looking for someone. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Nowhere to go but in front. An errant pass to Ceramic with 3 seconds in the shot clock. And the Bombers will just tip it away out of bounds. St. Lawrence ball with 8:58 to go in the first. And now St. Lawrence will take it on the near side underneath, capitalizing the Bombers' inability to find an open shot. And it's going to be a cross-field pass to the goalie. 8:47 to go in quarter number one. Only one goal so far in this contest. That was provided by St. Lawrence about 3 minutes in. Nothing since, as both defenses have found their footing. St. Lawrence still hanging on to it, right around the eye of the Ithaca logo. Towards the top of the wing area in the attacking zone now moves St. Lawrence towards the middle of the field, and they send it towards the top of the goal area. Back towards the outside with 8:16 to go in quarter number one. Behind the net, as now the Saints try to set up that passing offense. Moving around the front, he'll double back. Still nothing, as the man for St. Lawrence sends it over to Connor Woolley. Woolley with 8 minutes remaining in quarter number one, 22 on the shot clock, drives in, almost intercepted, but it finds the welcoming stick of Ben Hutchinson. Hutchinson for St. Lawrence dumps it off, now 15 on the shot clock, down to 10. There's a shove, no foul, as St. Lawrence holds on to it. 8 seconds on the shot clock, hanging out behind the net. Go the Saints, 5 seconds, a wraparound score! Judge Murphy, with time running out on the shot clock, wraparound, put it in. How do you like it? 2-0 St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence likes it for sure. 41 goals now for Judge Murphy on the year. His second shot, the first one was saved by Corrigan. The second one, not the same result. You figure sooner or later, Judge Murphy will get his goal. He got it right there. And Ithaca, this is not the spot you want to be in. A 2-0 hole against the number 4 team in the nation. That's not a good spot.
Bombers were down 3-0 in the first quarter against RIT. They made it a 3-3 contest before Rochester scored 12 in a row to make it 15-3 as St. Lawrence almost takes it inside, but nice defensive play by the Bombers. Eventually moves it back the Ithaca direction with 7:26 remaining in quarter number one. Bombers at that midfield line. It's knocked out of the stick of Jace Docks, but he eventually hangs on.
That last possession for the Saints, they got the draw control quickly and raced into the offensive zone.
Jace Docks, a bounce shot. It hits off the post. It is eventually brought back in by Hunter Wallace off the carom.
What a ricochet. That was a bounce shot right in front of Michael Marianello. It caromed all the way to the far side where Hunter Wallace was able to corral it.
And we're halfway through quarter number one here. 7:02 remaining in the frame, and already a timeout called by Tommy Pierce, the Bombers head coach. What is he trying to work through with his offense right now?
I think just gaining possession and gaining draw controls and making smart passes, because for Ithaca, they're either not gaining the draw control and they have to play on their heels on defense, or they're getting all bogged up in the offensive zone. So I think making smart passes and relying on your top offensive players in Charlie Niebuhr and John Ceramic. Cole Corrigan has not been put in a great position so far because St. Lawrence keeps winning the draw so much.
And look over at Murphy and Crosdale, the 2 goal scorers for St. Lawrence. Other than them, the Bombers defense has done a good job keeping St. Lawrence outside of that area right in front of the goal circle. But in those 2 instances, what went wrong for the Bombers?
Well, I think, honestly, when it comes to the Judge Murphy goal, I think he's just so talented. He's such an incredible player, already over 40 goals on the season. Sometimes you're going to give up those goals to a team that's so good as the 4th-ranked Saints. But for Ithaca, I think it all comes back to possession. If you gain possession, it gives Cole Corrigan more rest, more time to think about his strategy and how he's going to defend certain players.
And now we look at what St. Lawrence is talking about in that huddle. They're already up 2-0, 7:02 remaining in quarter number 1. What are they going to look to do out of this timeout to pile on that lead and really assert themselves as the number 4 team in the country?
Well, I think you have to keep going with Judge Murphy. But also Ben Hutchinson, 29 goals, 20 assists. He has 96 shots on this St. Lawrence team that's second behind Murphy. He's also an incredible player for St. Lawrence, and I think they should get him the ball more.
Both teams break their huddles. The Bombers will be the ones taking it on the near side in the attacking zone, as backing out goes Cullen Adams. Adams charges through, now trying to set up an offensive attack. Bombers have only had 2 so far in this game, 40 seconds on the shot clock. Swung back out to Sam Baker. Baker goes underneath and sets it over to Kyle Proctor, who likes to set everything up from behind the goal. Proctor goes outside, now towards the top of the fan, sends it back underneath. This time it's going to be Sam Baker moving it around. 23 seconds on the shot clock, 6:30 remaining in the first quarter, as John Ceramic can't find anything in front, and he passes it back to Proctor. Proctor the top to Brady. Graham Brady trying to charge inside, now 10 seconds remaining on that shot clock. Brady slows down, 7 on the shot clock. He goes towards the right post, now moves back, he's going to have no shot, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, it's batted around in front, horn sounds, St. Lawrence ball. It's the second time the Saints have made the Bombers run out the shot clock, and they'll go the other way.
This has been really tough for Ithaca offensively. They're getting possessions, but they're not getting good shot attempts. This has really been a perplexing start for the Bombers.
So down underneath, Caleb Torres. He'll hang on to it for St. Lawrence and eventually move it back towards the other side as the Saints go to the attacking zone. 5:45 remaining in quarter number 1. Saints leading the Bombers 2-0. Here coverage of Ithaca men's lacrosse on VIC Radio, the Bomber Radio Network. Saints drive inside, shot that one a little bit too high as Bobby Wells tried to go, but St. Lawrence the closest to it by that end line, and they'll pick it back up. Brian Souza sends it up towards the top, and Ted Wilson will have it. Wilson in contest with Michael Gilliam. Wilson dunks it inside. St. Lawrence first to pick it up, 34 remaining on the shot clock, 5:20 in the first quarter. St. Lawrence in the red and white being attacked and now have to move it back out is Judge Murphy. Murphy takes his time with 20 seconds remaining on that shot clock. He slips on the turf on that far side. Brings it back in near to Ted Wilson. Wilson, 15 on the shot clock. He'll send it over once again to Bobby Wells. Wells, 2-on-1, under 10 on the shot clock. Pass in front, 5 on the shot clock. Saints have to get something going here. Wrap around, score! Last second for Ben Hutchinson. Nothing you can do about it. And the Saints racing out a 3-0 lead, 4:48 to go in the first.
The difference in this game is that late in the shot clock, St. Lawrence are getting their shots on Corrigan, and Ithaca's not been able to do the same, and that's why it's 3-0. Ben Hutchinson, I said before, their second best offensive performer in several different categories. An incredible wraparound shot to the right of Cole Corrigan's net. 3-0.
And for the second time this week, the Bombers trail 3-0 in quarter number 1, this time against the Saints, and St. Lawrence wins the all-important face-off. Ben Hutchinson, with 4:36 to go in the first, will regain a pass from Brian Souza. Hutchinson towards the top and now back.
Again, St. Lawrence winning possessions. That's going to mean that their high-powered offense has more chance to get shots on Corrigan.
Slowing it down right now are the Saints as Carter Flanagan. Driving inside, Flanagan maybe has a lane. He'll take a pass in front. What a save by Cole Corrigan. A wraparound shot from St. Lawrence.
I believe that was Ben Niskern.
They
Number
will
12.
hang on to it. You're right, Ben Niskern. Tried a wraparound shot. Didn't go.
Only his 6th shot on goal of the season. A great save by Corrigan right in the chest. Keeps it 3-0.
So St. Lawrence passing it around the outside. Trying to capitalize with 30 remaining on that shot clock, back underneath. Towards the top and lost in transition. Still picked up by the Saints, 25 remaining on that shot clock, 3:47 to go in the first. Moving inside. Trying to throw it in front, nothing going, so they go behind. Saints a little deflection pass, they pick it up. Now 10 on the shot clock. Wrap around, that one hits the post and will go wide of the end line. St. Lawrence is the closest to it, and they will reset the shot clock. A huge deflection 3:32 remaining in quarter number 1.
Ithaca needs to get back there on offense and stop playing defensively.
Pass in front, Ben Hutchinson. Buenonote puts that one through. Nothing you can do about it. 4-0 Saints on the Bombers.
Ithaca's been playing on their heels since the opening draw. If they're going to play on defense for 75% of the game, there's no way they're going to win.
St. Lawrence, 4 unanswered goals in the first quarter. There's 3:20 remaining in the frame, and they're running all over the Bombers.
This is a huge draw. If Ithaca can control, just get something positive in this game.
Chris Soule goes on the faceoff. That one's going to squirt out towards the Saints side and is picked up by St. Lawrence as Patty Condon moves it out to the far side. The Bombers have struggled winning faceoffs all night.
Yeah, Patty Condon getting the draw there. First team all Liberty League, making another great play for St. Lawrence.
One of the top 5 players in the Liberty League when it comes to winning faceoffs is Patty Condon, and he shows why there is St. Lawrence. Passing around the outside with under 3 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. A 4-0 lead already for the Saints, showing no signs of laggishness after the bust right as a bounce shot just goes to the right of Charlie Condon and rolls out of bounds by the corner on the near side, St. Lawrence ball. And the referees will blow their whistle, and they're going to have a conference to see whose possession it is. St. Lawrence was the closest to it when it went out of bounds, as Brian Souza currently hangs onto it in his stick, and I think they're just trying to figure out where he'll start possession.
Right. Ithaca cannot allow a goal here. They need to at least keep it 4-0 and give their offense a chance to help this team climb back in it.
Back outside. St. Lawrence wraparound score. They listened and they said no way. Ben Hutchinson.
It's like they're hearing us.
The 5th goal of the first quarter for the Saints. And it's all the team from Canton. 2.5 hour, 3-hour bus ride. No problem if you're St. Lawrence. The number 4 ranked team in the country leads 5-0 with 2:29 to go in the frame.
This has been a disastrous first quarter for Ithaca. There's really no other way to put it. Ben Hutchinson's a great offensive player, but again, if you're not going to win the draws and you have to play on defense for most of the game, you're going to give up those shots to the great players, and they give up the draw again to St. Lawrence.
And it brings out towards the offensive zone, and a quick goal. St. Lawrence taking full advantage of the Bombers' weak defense.
It's Hutchinson again.
Ben Hutchinson all over that one, and now it's 6-0 Saints, 2:23, less than 10 seconds after the last goal. And what a start for St. Lawrence, coming off a loss to Middlebury, their first loss of the regular season to the number 18 team in the country, and they're saying no. Not a theme, it's just a fluke, and the Bombers, down by 6, already at risk of dropping what would be their 4th straight contest, all in Liberty League play.
This was a big statement game. If Ithaca could at least keep it close and give some positives away from this game, there have been no positives, other than one good save by Corrigan on the inside.
Pass towards the outside by St. Lawrence. Ithaca College, until this year, had never started 0-3 in conference play. They are currently 0-4 since joining the Liberty League, and now at risk of falling to 0-5 in conference play.
And who has the ball again, Toby?
It's the St. Lawrence Saints in the attacking zone, brought out to the outside by Ted Wilson. Wilson in contest against Michael Gillum. Wilson passes it over. Tries to go for a stick, and a bit of a hit there by Jared Sedlock, and it is picked up by the Bombers, no flag.
Oh, great play by Sedlock there, starting the offensive rhythm.
Sedlock takes a shot. What a save! Down to a knee. Michael Marinello.
It was a low bouncing shot there by Sedlock. A great save by Marinello.
Got his leg out in front of it, and it's Saints ball on the attacking side. What a save for St. Lawrence. They keep the Bombers off the board. 1 minute remaining in quarter number 1.
Now IC didn't get a goal there, but Sedlock hoping to inspire some confidence on the defensive side that they can get takeaways. I believe that's their first of the game.
St. Lawrence now on the attack. There's a shot and a goal. Zach Corsi puts it right through. Low shot, low goal. 7-0 Saints. It is all St. Lawrence in quarter number 1.
7th goal for Zach Corsi on the season. And this has really been a disastrous first quarter for the Bombers.
Ithaca College allowing 7 goals in the first of the number 4 team in the country. One of their worst starts this season, coming off a disappointing loss to RIT at home on Wednesday night. 45 seconds remaining, so the shot clock will not factor in the remainder of quarter number 1. Saints have it by the eye of the Ithaca logo, moving the ball around. Hanging on to it right now is number 26, Nate Stevens for St. Lawrence. He's going to be contested by Liam Lennon. And it seems like St. Lawrence is content with running the clock out in quarter number 1. Lennon tries to make contact with 20 seconds remaining in the frame. Still hanging on to it is Stevens. Stevens charges inside. He's got a bit of a lane now, has to reverse courts. 10 seconds remaining. He's going to backhand it behind him. Bombers trying to find it, but if they do, they're not going to have enough time. 5 seconds in the frame. Saints pick it up, and they're just going to try to run out the clock. A shot in front goes wide. There's the horn for the end of the first quarter. We're going to keep it here during the break. 7-0 Saints lead. Bombers have not been able to get anything going offensively and even less defensively. What has failed this Bombers defense?
I think it's really the draw controls. It's the fact that defense, that these Bombers have to play defense most of the game. And when they're on offense, they're not able to get shots on net. I know the St. Lawrence defense is so good, but Ithaca has really not had any chances at all to get any offensive rhythm going right now. And it seems like this is a trend that I've noticed for Ithaca. Last game, they allowed 12 straight goals to go down 15-3 in the fourth quarter before their valiant comeback on Wednesday, and now they're giving up 7 straight goals since the start of the game. So it feels like, for me, it's when it rains, it pours. When it's not going right, it's really not going right for the Bombers. They have to do something here in the second quarter, and I've mentioned draw controls over and over again, but when your opponent has possession, most of the time, you're not going to win a game. You're not going to win this game.
This is the first time since 2023, April the 12th, that they've allowed 7 goals in the first quarter. That was against the then-ranked number 3 RIT Tigers on the road in Rochester. That game, they started a 7-1 first quarter. Now they trail 7-0. If you're St. Lawrence, you've already put the pressure up. You've brought in 7 goals to start this contest. Now what are you looking to do in quarter number 2? Because it's going to be hard to trump that.
It's going to be, don't make mistakes. Don't give up the ball to Ithaca and give them any momentum. As long as they play sound fundamental play as they've had throughout this entire game, and honestly throughout the entire season, St. Lawrence should be cruising into the second half. I think Ithaca will put up a fight here. I think they have a lot of great players on the team, but I don't really think they're playing as a team, Toby. I don't think they're connected. And they're at home. They're at Higgins Stadium. That should be an advantage, and I don't think there's any home field advantage today.
Ithaca has 2 more home games after this one. One against SUNY Cortland on the 17th. Then they face Skidmore on the 27th. That will be their final game of the regular season. And as it stands right now, the Bombers at the very bottom of the Liberty League Conference as St. Lawrence wins the face-off.
It's Patty Condon again, another face-off win for the St. Lawrence Saints.
So Saints on the far side, now moving in closer towards the middle of the field. Hanging on to it and just cradling the ball is Bobby Wells. Wells to the far side. Saints drive it in, now brought back in tight, moving from right to left. From left to right. Bombers will be moving from right to left. That shot went wide as they flip sides. 4:27 to go in quarter number 2.
I believe that was Lucas Proctor with the shot there. He hasn't had, excuse me, that's for Ithaca. It's Judge Murphy, actually. That makes a lot more sense that he's getting those shots on net. Pardon me.
And that one almost a goal for St. Lawrence as they got behind an errant pass from Ben Hutchinson. Went a little bit wide. But St. Lawrence, once again, closest to the ball as it goes beyond that end line, and they hang on to it. Already brought in Brian Souza. A long pass towards the near side of the field. Hanging on to it is Bobby Wells. Wells tries to charge inside. He'll be deterred by the Ithaca defense. Swings it out underneath. Back out towards the front. For the Bombers, try to hold off the attack. That one sidewinds. Didn't go inside as he pulled off the shot.
Great defense on Judge Murphy there for the Bombers. Under 7 on the shot clock right now.
St. Lawrence needs to get something off here, and they do. Time not a factor for St. Lawrence. They are all over the first half. 8-0, 13:40 to go in the half. Bobby Wells puts it through. And no sign of slowing down if you're St. Lawrence. Sluggishness not hit them yet on this Saturday afternoon, and they're already up by 8.
Exactly right, Toby. Sluggishness is not a factor. 10th goal of the year for Bobby Wells. And again, it was under 10 seconds on the shot clock. A huge storyline of this game, as St. Lawrence wins the face-off, is the fact that St. Lawrence is able to get shots late in the shot clock while Ithaca hasn't.
As the Saints send it to the far side as they resume play here in quarter number 2, 13:36 remaining on the quarter clock. St. Lawrence bringing it to the outside. John Mahoney brought in. He's appeared in all games so far for the Saints this season as he takes it on the near side. Chargers down in front. Mahoney will hold off, and he slips on the turf.
Good physicality there on defense by Liam Lennon by preventing John Mahoney from getting any leverage inside.
And there's going to be a foul against St. Lawrence as the ball will go the other way. Bombers take advantage of a miscue by the Saints. Wet turf could be a problem in this second game as Ithaca racing inside. Proctor over to Niebuhr. Niebuhr back up top to Proctor. Proctor hangs onto it, contested by Alex Bichard. Bichard holds him off as the Bombers have to pass it out to that one's Sam Baker. Baker in that number 41 jersey on the near side. Swings it back towards the top of the eye at the Ithaca logo. Holding on to it, Cullen Adams. Adams down to Baker. Baker to Niebuhr, 43 seconds on the shot clock, 12:25 remaining in the first half. Sam Baker getting some more looks as he passes it over to Graham Brady. Brady towards the top, now slows down, 29 seconds on the shot clock. And he goes to the turf, hit away, no whistle, St. Lawrence ball. The St. Lawrence defense has been relentless today. There's a reason why they're the number 4 team in the country, and they just showed it. 12 minutes remain in this second quarter. Still an 8-0 Saints lead. The Bombers have yet to find the back of the goal.
It was Lucas Podvy there for the St. Lawrence Saints, forcing the trip there on the play that leads to the turnover and yet another St. Lawrence possession.
Well, back towards the top on the far side as Connor Woolley moves it around from the wing area towards the center. As the Saints offense quickly taking over, back to Woolley. Woolley reverses course, now does a double back on that reverse course. There's a flag on the play, so as soon as the Bombers touch it, they're going to have to send someone into the penalty zone. Delayed penalty as St. Lawrence tries to find their 9th goal of the day. 11:17 remaining in this quarter, 28 on the shot clock. Saints behind the goal, no wraparound. Shot in front, that one bounces, goes wide, it'll go out of play.
Judge Murphy again getting a chance to get that shot on goal, but it was wide for Cole Corrigan. That was a whistler. That was really, really well struck by Judge Murphy, but he can't find the back of the net like he's already had today. He's already had 1 goal, his 41st of the season. Could not get 42 there.
Now that play has ended, Bombers will have to send Max Warren to the penalty zone for 1 minute. So the St. Lawrence Saints a man-up opportunity against Ithaca. Bombers, one of the worst teams in the conference at defending man-up, man-down opportunities. They showed that against RIT on Wednesday night. Saints playing pass around, trying to find someone who can cut inside and get a goal. 43 seconds of the shot clock, 40 remaining on the penalty clock. There's a pass down in front and a lucky save by Cole Corrigan. Ball can't be found on the turf. Saints trying to capitalize on it. Pinballs around, picked up by the Bombers, and Corrigan's going to take a pass.
That was a great job by the Bombers in gaining possession as the net was empty, as there was a scramble to the left of the goal there. Great job by Ithaca.
Pass back to Corrigan as the Bombers try to wind out the penalty. 16 seconds remaining on that penalty clock. 10:22 remaining in quarter number 2. Still down 8-0. Ithaca has failed to make any threat on the goal of much significance. Down underneath, just 5 shots in the day, 2 shots on goal. Up towards the top and now towards that midfield stripe. Bombers moving it around is Chris Kiley. He goes to the turf. Kiley slipped right at the top of the eye.
Physical play there by Caleb Torres, right there at center field, making the play. Midfield, excuse me.
Bombers out behind the net, trying to wrap around. He'll go, Niebuhr, shot, scores! Charlie Niebuhr gets the Bombers on the board, their first goal of the contest, and it's 8-1, 9:38 remaining in the first half.
For the first time this afternoon here on the South Hill, cheers from the crowd. Charlie Niebuhr, his 28th goal on the season. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for IC. Just get on the board, get some positive momentum, and hopefully they can start to win more draws and get more offensive possessions.
Niebuhr was one of the lone bright spots on Wednesday night. He put up 3 goals against the Tigers. That led the Bombers. Now it'll once again be Chris Soule in the faceoff circle. Trying to get some momentum back for the Bombers. Goes out the other way, and it will be picked up by St. Lawrence. It was actually Jake Docks who took the face-off.
Patty Condon once again. We've said his name many times, but again, another face-off win for St. Lawrence. He has been one of the biggest factors for St. Lawrence's success today, Toby.
Well, Michael Marianello, another factor as he sends a pass towards the far end as the Saints offense gets set back up. Saints try to find their way inside. As right now passing it over, Carter Flanagan up towards Zach Corsi. Corsi back underneath the net. Saints looking for that cut inside. Up towards the top, Corsi just swings it back over as they play passing game. 34 seconds on the shot clock. That one a rip. It goes wide and a push. It will be Saints ball as it goes wide. Picking it up is Brian Souza with Zach Corsi with a shot that went a little bit long. 8:47 left in the second, 30 on that shot clock. Saints retain possession. Swung back towards the top, right out in front of the goal, pass underneath. Judge Murphy. Murphy gets slammed down to the turf, goes for the pickup and has it. Judge Murphy does it again. Brings down the gavel. Decision decided. Guilty is the verdict. 9-1 Saints. 8:28 to go in this second quarter, and St. Lawrence responds after the Bomber goal.
Judge Murphy got decked, came up, had the ball come to him, and he whistled it right to the back of the net. Verdict. He delivered a verdict right there, Toby. That was incredible.
A whistling shot by Murphy as St. Lawrence once again going for a face-off win, and they will. And who else but Patty Condon?
There have been very, very few face-off wins for Ithaca. It's astounding, the fact that they have performed so poorly right there in the midfield circle.
Bombers 7th in the conference on face-offs coming into today. And that bottom 3. Saints in the offensive zone, passing it around towards the top. Little dunk down, nothing going. It is eventually picked up by Bobby Wells. There's a shot and score. St. Lawrence, it was Cam Crosdale. He was way out towards the top. Nobody found him, and the Saints have racked up double digits. Well, the Bombers only have one. 7:50 remaining in the second, and St. Lawrence racing through. 7:50 to go.
Crosdale with his second goal of the game, 20 overall. And like I said, when it rains, it pours for Ithaca. When the mistakes keep piling up, it's really hard for them to win, and looks like we've got a timeout here, Toby.
Not surprised that the Bombers go for a timeout. Their second of the contest before St. Lawrence has even used one. With 7:50 remaining in the half, it is all St. Lawrence. 10-1 Saints. And Morgan, we talked about it at the quarter break. We talked about it in the last timeout. But what has gone wrong in this first quarter?
I sound like a broken record, but draw controls, draw controls, draw controls. When you cannot win many, if at all, draw controls and hold the ball, you're not going to score. And the team who scores the most is going to win. And if you don't have any chances to score, it's very, very hard for Cole Corrigan right now. The Bombers have put themselves in a really tough position.
And what about the play of Ben Hutchinson on the St. Lawrence side? 4 goals already in today's contest. We're not even to the half mark of this game. What has gone well for Hutchinson?
He is an incredible offensive player. Last year, Liberty League second team. He scored 6 against Skidmore. He has 12 goals in the last 4. He is on an absolute heater, and Ithaca caught him and the St. Lawrence Saints at the wrong time. Right now, Ithaca has more timeouts to use than goals scored.
A sad but true stat of today's game. Something that also rang true during the RIT game in the early parts as the Bombers fell behind there, and they're facing a similar level of competition in this one. A team ranked 1 spot behind the Tigers. St. Lawrence will face the Tigers at home in their second to last competition of the year before facing RPI. 2 of their last 3 after today will be against those ranked foes. Either one will come against Clarkson on the road. As the face-off once again won by St. Lawrence.
Top 5 matchup for RIT against St. Lawrence. That's going to be a huge matchup even though Ithaca's not involved. I can't wait to watch that as well.
Same with RPI, the number 2 team in the country when they face off against the Ithaca College Bombers. Another one of those top teams. The Liberty League, one of the top conferences for lacrosse in Division III. Last year national champions, except for last year, have all come from there, including RIT, who won back-to-back in those 2 out of 3 years. Towards the top, Saints ball. That one is ripped right into the stick of Cole Corrigan, and the Bombers get a break. A shot that doesn't go in.
Excuse me. Great play by Cole Corrigan using all of his 6-foot frame to lasso that ball right up over his head and give Ithaca now a possession.
Bombers trying to tack on, down 10-1 with 6:55 to go in the second quarter. Brought out towards the top, and Sam Baker. Baker slows down with the cradle right by the T of the Ithaca Bombers logo at midfield. 6:40 to go in this first half. Bombers trail by 9. Swung to the outside as Ceramic can't find anything. He's going to be pestered and forced to dip it off to Charlie Niebuhr. The lone goal scorer of today's game for the Bombers will dunk it off to Kyle Proctor with 30 left on the shot clock. Proctor to the outside. Picked up as the Bombers try to move in. Still nothing going. Dumped off near side and a misconnect. Nothing Cullen Adams can do about it. He eventually picks it back up, but there's only 20 remaining on that shot clock.
They need to get shots on net here on Marianello. They've had trouble late in the shot clock, and now it's almost down to 10.
Cullen Adams drives inside. He tried to take it himself. He is eventually taken down. 7 on the shot clock. Ball goes wide. It's going to keep running with 6. Kyle Proctor will take it, and now he'll have 6 seconds to find something. Proctor up front. Nothing goes, and the Bombers are just going to dump it back off. A smart play by Peter Nolan and Ithaca College. Once again, the 3rd time they have faced a shot clock violation, and it's going to be Saints ball on that near side corner. 5:52 remaining in quarter number 2. Still leading 10-1, and racing down the field goes Nate Stevens. It's going to be Caleb Torres. Brought back on the near side to Judge Murphy. Murphy on the end line. He'll swing it all the way to the far side. Back towards the top, and Cam Croasdale. Croasdale beyond the blue line and the yellow line, brings it back over to David Hurley. Drive inside, still swinging back outside. 5:17 to go in quarter number 2. Bombers trail 10-1 against the Saints. On the near side, St. Lawrence driving up towards the middle. There's a shot. That one ricochets off the stick of Corrigan and off the bar. It's eventually picked up by Cole Corrigan. Bombers get lucky, and in transition towards the middle of the field, Michael Gilliam with it.
Back-to-back great plays from Corrigan. It seems like he's found his rhythm. Unfortunately, that's after the Bombers are already down 9.
It was David Hurley who took the shot for the Saints. Now Bombers have it on the other side. Chris Kiley takes it and swings it on the far end. Holding on to it is Jack Pastor. He'll send it back to Kiley. Chris Kiley for the Bombers by the midfield stripe. 4:30 remaining before we'll head to the halftime break. Bombers still trail by 9. Swung back over as Ithaca on the far side in those white uniforms with gray shorts. Just trying to find something going. Underneath to Proctor. Proctor takes his time, now moves out on the far side, swings back towards his right and underneath. 25 on the shot clock. Wrap around in front, Ceramic. Nothing going. He loses the ball and will have to go behind the net. Ceramic dunks down in front. There's a shot by Niebuhr. What a save by Marianello. Marianello. What a play. And another save. It's going to be Saints ball. 3:50 to go in the second. Marianello. What a goalie the Saints have out there in the crease as he'll take it out and look for that pass underneath to Lucas Podvie. Podvie breaks free, and Podvie will have a lane. Podvie a little dip and dunk onto Judge Murphy. Murphy swings it back to John Mahoney. Mahoney up towards the Zach Corsi. looking for it and hanging on to Zach Corsi. Zach Corsi dumps it over to a racing Saint on the inside. There's a shot, bounce, save. Cole Corrigan saves a shot by Carter Flanagan. The Bombers keep it out of the net. 3 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. 74 on the shot clock. Bombers have it on the far side as Ryan Marr almost loses it.
If there's any positivity to take away from the second quarter is the fact that Cole Corrigan has really made some excellent plays over these last couple minutes, and now Ithaca a chance to hopefully give this team some momentum.
And only 3 goals allowed so far in quarter number 2 by the Bombers, as opposed to 7 in the first frame. Kyle Proctor takes his time, and he'll just look for any open Bomber, eventually slings it back towards the top. Sam Baker with it. Baker runs near side, now slows down in a back pedal. 2:24 left in the second frame. 34 seconds on that shot clock. It's Baker driving inside as the sun starts to come out. On what has been a cloudy day on the South Hill. John Ceramic dunks down underneath for Baker. Baker with 20 seconds on that shot clock by that end line. Baker drives up top, past the goal line extended. Drives inside. Baker, a falling shot, goes wide. Proctor's going to be the closest to it, and a flag is thrown.
There was a lot of physicality underneath there, Toby. I saw some sticks. I saw and heard some sticks clanging. Let's see what the foul's on.
Looks like it's going to be against Griffin Mark, number 33 for the Saints. That'll be his 4th of the season. He's already served 2.5 minutes of penalty time as it is. And now he'll serve an extra minute. So the Bombers will have a man-up opportunity with exactly 2 minutes and 60 seconds on that shot clock, 2 minutes in total on the game clock.
Griffin Marks, his second straight game with a penalty, had a 30-second penalty against Middlebury. The Denver, Colorado native will be out of the play here.
Knocked down, but the Bombers eventually pick it up as they swing it back inside. Proctor, sidearm score! Kyle Proctor gets the Bombers back on the board, and they take advantage of the man-up opportunity. It's 10-2 Saints.
Kyle Proctor now up to 26 points, even amount of goals and assists, both with 13. It is now 10-2 St. Lawrence, and that was just a great shot right above the head of the goaltender, Marianello.
Kyle Proctor, what a shot. It's back to being an 8-goal game with St. Lawrence still on top, 1:42 remaining in this contest, and who is going to win another faceoff if not St. Lawrence? That ball pinballs around. Eventually the Saints come down with it.
This time it was Lucas Podvy who controlled for the St. Lawrence Saints.
St. Lawrence with that 8-goal lead will likely slow it down and try and work out as much of the shot clock as they can.
This is a crucial 80 seconds for Ithaca to hopefully try to get a goal here, and it's a turnover.
Misplay and a foul against St. Lawrence. The Bombers get it in open space, 1:15 remaining on the clock, and they can work out as much of that shot clock as they want. Trying to get some goal back before the halftime break, as there are exactly 60 seconds remaining in this second quarter. The shot clock will not factor in as it's 4 seconds behind the game clock. Sam Baker with it on that near side wing area, just underneath the eye of the Ithaca logo in terms of depth. He'll drive inside now towards the far side top, goes across into the attacking third. Baker, a dump off to Ceramic, over towards the far side. Bombers, there's an opportunity driving inside, trying to find anything but can't do it is Cullen Adams. Adams, 33 seconds remaining in this first half. He'll go the other way. Pass out behind the goal, and unable to pick it up is Sam Baker. Bombers give up on the play. Saints will take over, 26 seconds remaining in this first half, and they will likely just run out the shot clock. St. Lawrence near side. Reversing course is Bobby Bartlett. Bartlett, Lucas Podvy. Podvy back to Marinello. Marinello will hang on to it. 10 seconds remaining in the half. Saints hanging on to that 10-3 lead. They try a pass over the middle. A whistle will blow. 5.2 remaining on the clock as time stops. So the Bombers will have 5 seconds to make something work. 3 seconds, there's a long shot, and he scored from half court. Jake Dux, what a shot. The first year, his first collegiate goal, and with 0.6 seconds remaining on the clock, it's a 10-3 ball game.
Wow, what a play by Jace Duck. I mean, what a goal for your first collegiate goal. nearly from midfield, 6/10 on the clock. There's some momentum for Ithaca right now. They've scored a couple goals in the late going, and they're going to go into half only down 7. Is not over yet.
Last 2 goals have gone the Bombers' way as the face-off barely gets anything going. Horn sounds, it'll be 10-3 St. Lawrence as we head into the break, but the last minute and a half felt like all Ithaca. As the Bombers go to their huddles, what is Ithaca going to need to work on very quickly here before coming into the second half with their momentum?
To change up the personnel on the draw controls to be able to secure it more often. Ithaca has had some excellent possessions. They've had a little bit of luck there with that mid-court shot going in by Jay Stock at the end, but when they're getting their possessions, Ithaca's been a little bit more proficient in the second half of the second quarter. So I think changing up the possessions, changing up the personnel in the draw circle is going to be huge for Ithaca, as well as limiting those sloppy plays and the turnovers.
Bombers heating up at the half, and for everything you need, we're going to send it back to the studio where Luke Fitzpatrick, Blake Katzman, and Anthony Labonte are waiting for you for your coverage of the first half of Ithaca men's lacrosse right here on VIC Radio and the Bombers Radio Network.
Welcome back here on the campus of Ithaca College at Higgins Stadium. Some positive momentum for the Ithaca Bombers, only down 10-3. And Toby, what were your first half takeaways?
Well, I think the first quarter was all St. Lawrence because St. Lawrence was just faster, bigger, and more impressive than the Bombers. The Bombers faced a faster, more impressive team in RIT midway through the week, and they looked weak, and St. Lawrence saw the footage. They watched what they needed to do, and they saw, hey, if you're faster, you can work inside, make the plays you need to, and you get around the Ithaca defense, and there's nothing they can do to stop you inside, and they exploited that early on, and Ithaca hasn't really figured that out. They haven't figured out how to stop that, at least. First quarter, they allowed 7 goals, only 3 in the second, but even then, it was because there was just limited St. Lawrence opportunities because the offense finally came into their own. In the first quarter, the offense could get nothing going. They were always in transition, and part of that was the wet turf. Again, earlier in the day, it was raining all morning, and that impacted the women's game earlier today a ton. And then in this game, I think we were still seeing the lingering factors as it went on in the early stages. Ithaca made a lot of sloppy passes, a lot of missteps, a lot of slip-ups. They cleaned that up, and they're going to look to continue that momentum here in half number 2.
See if Ithaca can continue the comeback here in the second half. 10-3 St. Lawrence as we now have the face-off in the midfield circle. And the ball is loose and won by the St. Lawrence Saints with Caleb Torres. And then it's quickly taken away by Ithaca. Racing into the offensive zone. Ball is loose. Tried to be controlled by Hunter Wallace. Puck is still being being controlled on the far side, and it went out of bounds. Turnover, St. Lawrence ball, another sloppy play to start the second half for Ithaca.
It's going to stay over to the Bombers' side because the Bombers are the closest to it.
Oh,
but again, a sloppy play near that far side. If Ithaca cleans that up, they hang on to it, and they don't need to restart the offense.
Bombers in the offensive zone. 35 seconds in to this second half. A shot goes wide by Sam Baker. Collected out of the back of the net. Driving inside and trying to get some leverage is Cullen Adams. There's a shot, and it's so close it bounced right off the top of the net, and it's collected there by Baker. Ithaca looking to start off the second half strong, down 7 goals, far from over yet. Curling inside is Baker, and he gives it up behind the net. Now here's Graham Brady. Shuffling along the line, gives it up. Far side. 30 seconds on the play clock. 13:30 to go in the second half. There's a shot that's low, and it almost trickles in behind Marianello. Another chance for the Bombers, and it's loose in the net as there was a shot made by Charlie Niebuhr, and it's saved by Marianello. What a play, diving in front of the net.
Still Bomber ball underneath, but Marianello, one of the top goalies in the Liberty League, and you saw why there.
Here's Baker. Baker looking for leverage. He is swarmed. Good play there. There's a shot in front and a goal.
Found the net, and what a job driving inside for the Bombers, and you come back after a succession of a bunch of balls that hit off the side, close plays that couldn't roll in. Bombers have had certainly a non-zero amount of those coming into this drive. They had a bunch more, and then you pick yourself up, you don't fall back, you stay poised. That was a big change from the first half to the second half. First half, they lost their composure after they couldn't find it in. Second half, they found their composure entirely, and now it's only a 6-goal game.
It's Cullen Adams with the goal, his 7th. Oh, there's a tussle in front for the turnover, for the face-off, as really physical play by Corey White. And the Bombers with that physicality in the draw circle, and they get possession. Michael Gilliam dishes it off with a bounce pass on the far side. Now here's Jake Pastor. Ithaca trying to set something up. 12:20 to go in the second half here on the South Hill. Bombers now only trail by 6. Racing inside is John Ceramic. Behind the net, he gives it back up. Chris Kiley inside, charging in, and the shot was a little wide to the left, and it trickles out of bounds.
And that's just another one of those where the Bombers getting close, they take a shot, but it's 1 or 2 inches away from that post, and if they move it over just a little bit, they'll get it through. But that's more a testament to St. Lawrence's defense because they're not allowing that lane to open up in the first place.
Jack Pastor with the ball. He pivots and gives it back up to Chris Kiley. Kiley behind the net. 14 seconds on the play clock. Ithaca's had some trouble in getting shots late in the shot clock. Can they get one here? And that they did get a shot, but it was wide from Jack Giannuzzi. 6 seconds on the shot clock.
And they're going to take the smart move there and just dump it into that far corner, making St. Lawrence stuff with tougher field position. Another drive that the Bombers just wind that shot clock down, and if that ball hits the post, we're talking about a different story with that shot clock, but instead it stays where it is, and they're just forced to reset and give St. Lawrence the ball.
Marianello setting it up, coming out of the goal. Gets it to Lucas Podvie on the near side. He's looking for a recipient of his pass and finds it on the near side. He got it to Ben Hutchinson, who quickly gives it up on the play to Bobby Wells. Now with the ball spinning is Cam Crosdale. He's got Ted Wilson to his left. Instead, he gives it to the man on his right. Behind the net. Number 11, Ben Hutchinson, 4 goals in the first half. He's looking for the 5th, and it's saved out in front by Corrigan. The ball is loose, and it is controlled by the St. Lawrence Saints with Bobby Wells. Brian Souza with a touch. He gives it back up. Working with it again is Ben Hutchinson, the engine for this Saint offense, ranked 3rd in the nation. They were cruising for most of the first half. Ithaca with a little charge here. St. Lawrence possession still, well, with Cam Crosdale with the ball. 35 seconds on the shot clock, 10 minutes on the game clock here in this third quarter. Now with a touch here is Judge Murphy. Murphy inside, dishes it, and it's wide, and it trickles almost out of play. Oh, a great physical play made on the edge of the playing area made by Cam Crosdale to keep it in possession of the Saints. They've got 13 on the shot clock here. Brian Souza spinning, pestered, 4, 3, 2, loose shot clock violation for the Saints.
And the Saints don't mind that shot clock violation, however, because the flag came out in the middle of the scrum, and it's going to be against the Bombers. So either way, the Saints, as long as this violation holds, they're going to have a man-up opportunity, unless they called the shot wrong, as heading over was Cam Crosdale, but he'll go back, and yes, the Saints will have a man-up opportunity, and once again, they'll hold on to possession. I don't think they care that the shot clock ran down there.
I don't think so either, Toby. Even when Ithaca's playing great defense, they cannot stop from making mistakes, and committing penalties is one of those big mistakes, along with committing turnovers as well. So a man-up opportunity for St. Lawrence. Ithaca has not done well this season in defending man-up opportunities. 9:31 to go in this third quarter.
And Wednesday night wasn't kind of them on man-up opportunities, and tonight, well, they're 0 for 1. They've allowed a goal to the Saints on that previous man-up opportunity. It's only going to be a 30-second penalty, so the Bombers get a bit of luck. Wallace, that'll be his 2nd of the year. He sat out for 30 the last time. He'll sit out for 30 again.
Hutchinson sets it up. Now on the near side, it's Ted Wilson. Crosdale back to Hutchinson. Around the horn. Trying to pass it there is Bobby Wells. In front, shot ricochets from the stick of Cam Crosdale. He's already scored so far this game. In front, and it's knocked away. The shot by Ben Hutchinson. Penalty has expired here, I believe. Here's Ted Wilson. Wilson looking. Wilson racing. Great play by Michael Gilliam to cut off his leverage. St. Lawrence still with possession, looking for some room here is number 23, Cam Crosdale. Now there's a drive and a shot and a goal by Judge Murphy. Once again, he finds Twine.
And before that, Cole Corrigan had become a goalie that was almost the best goalie in Division III lacrosse. There's some incredible saves, and then he tried to dig another one out, and he just couldn't find it. What a job by Judge Murphy, though, in this contest, and especially for St. Lawrence, not losing the mental composure. We talked about that with the Bombers, but for St. Lawrence, a couple of bad shots, a couple of great saves, you still come back and you pepper enough shots on net. One's going to go through, and now you get another goal back up there. You're up 11-4, and you win a face-off.
St. Lawrence controls the ball as there was an infraction by Corey White in the center circle. St. Lawrence up 11-4 on the Bombers. Working is number 36, Carter Flanagan. Flanagan inside, back to the goal, gives it back up to number 11, Ben Hutchinson. Already with a quartet of goals so far. Hutchinson looking. Hutchinson gives it back up. There's a drive and a great save by Corrigan on the shot by Carter Flanagan. And the Bombers quickly race back up into their offensive zone. Michael Gilliam. Michael Gilliam starting the offensive play, and now it's John Ceramic giving it up to Graham Brady. Under 7:30 to go here on the South Hill, 11-4. The number 4th ranked St. Lawrence Saints. Brady gives it up. Racing inside. Colin Adams. He has the goal so far. Pivoting is John Ceramic. Ceramic behind the net. Passes it up. 30 seconds and counting on the shot clock. Now a touch for Brady. Brady waiting for his opportunity and passes it back up to Adams. Adams looking for leverage behind the net. 15 seconds on the shot clock. And tripping on the play is Charlie Niebuhr, and a turnover, and they whistle, and they're going to stop play. As slow to get up as Charlie Niebuhr.
Yeah, and he got hit to the ground on that one, just kind of checked down. Clean play by St. Lawrence, and Niebuhr will get up and he will walk on his own assistance, so light jog off the field. That's good for the Bombers to see, obviously good for Niebuhr, but also something the Bombers needed in there. And you look over at St. Lawrence, incredible job on defense, but you got to think the Bombers are too timid on offense. They have open shots, and they're waiting for the perfect shot to open, and in this case, you're down 11-4, momentum's no longer on your side, and St. Lawrence physically dominating you. You have to take any open shot and not wait for the perfect opportunity.
St. Lawrence with possession. Brian Souza. Ben Hutchinson. Now taking his time, trying to set something up offensively as substitutions come for St. Lawrence, and it's Cam Crosdale. Passing the ball to the far side. Backwards pass. Judge Murphy with a touch. Murphy looking, waiting, dishing it to his partner in crime, Ben Hutchinson. Trying to get around Andrew Benjamin of the Bombers. Inside, shot, score.
And that one, a bounce pass that just got beyond Cole Corrigan. He couldn't find it with his stick.
Ben Hutchinson once again, his 34th goal of the season, 5 so far today. It has been the Ben Hutchinson show here on the South Hill.
Yeah, and none surprised by that. Ben Hutchinson, he was top 10 in the Liberty League. He's second of the team in goals coming into today. He had 29 before this one. Another great contest for the Saints.
An infraction by the St. Lawrence Saints on the draw, and so Ithaca will come up with it. John Ceramic waiting, dishing to the far side corner. Approaching 5.5 to go. 12-4 St. Lawrence, looking to improve to a 12-1 on the season and 4-0 in the Liberty League. Jack Pastor with a touch, he gives it back up. Ithaca taking a lot of time. Already 30 seconds off the shot clock without any attempt on Marianello. Here's Chris Kiley. Kiley looking, getting hounded by Lucas Podvi. He swivels back around and gives it up to John Ceramic. Still no shot so far in this possession. We're under 20 on the shot clock. You're right, Toby. This Ithaca offense has been timid all game long. They're too afraid to challenge Marinello. They're going to try right here as that one is high off the stick of Jack Giannuzzi. Out of bounds, 6 seconds on the shot clock. They got to get something going. 4, 3, 2, and giving up is Chase Gillick as he dishes it out of bounds.
It's got to be the 5th time in today's contest they've given up on the shot clock and just thrown it to the corner to reset for St. Lawrence. How many times has that worked? Probably 0 out of 5.
Exactly right, Toby. Backwards pass there by Lucas Podvi as St. Lawrence sets up 8. 4:10 to play here in the third quarter. If you look at the two sidelines right now, St. Lawrence looks so much more alive and animated, and Ithaca looks despondent right now, Toby.
Yeah, I think the Bombers have kind of given up in this one. All the momentum they had, it's draining away, and it's not just today that's draining away. It's very much potentially the opportunity to make the Liberty League tournament that could die on the South Hill.
They haven't made the tourney since 2019, at risk of another season outside the playoffs. 25 on the shot clock for St. Lawrence. Behind the net is Ben Hutchinson. And Hutchinson falls, but he gave it up. And now behind the goal is Daniel Mahoney. Loose ball controlled by Ithaca. PJ Roth with a nice play inside.
Yeah, and for the Bombers, you just need one good play to go your way. Maybe that'll reset the offense and just get them back in the right headspace.
Ithaca setting it up in their offensive zone. Michael Gillum. Now John Ceramic giving it back up to number 23, Graham Brady. Brady looking as the sun shines a little more. It's been a cloudy, rainy week here on the South Hill. Brady looking. Brady curling all the way back near the neutral zone. A lot of checking being done by Griffin Marks of the Saints. Under 30 seconds on the shot clock. Cullen Adams giving it up behind the net. Brady with a try. And it's saved by Marinello right in his grasp. So again, Ithaca at least a better possession there and just getting something on Marinello. But the best goalie in the Liberty League shows up again for the Saints.
Yeah, and you got to think this is going to be the last quarter for Marianello. He's played so well today, and with the Saints already up by 8, wouldn't be surprised if they make a move to Andrew Vaughn or even Heath Mann to close out this ball game.
You don't want to risk any injury, especially in an 8-goal game. Under 2 minutes to go in the third frame. Ted Wilson giving it up. Now racing inside and pivoting back, looking for a recipient of a pass. Bobby Wells, as I believe that was an intended pass, it goes wide. Hutchinson tried to chase after it. It goes out of bounds. 39 seconds on the the shot clock. Under 90 seconds on the game clock in the third frame. Crosdale looking, passing it up. Bobby Wells giving it to Ted Wilson. Wilson with 8 goals on the year. He looks, he passes it up. 15 on the shot clock. Inside shot, score! Ben Hutchinson again!
What a way to punctuate your day if you're Ben Hutchinson. A couple of goals against the Bombers on their house. What a day for him and the Saints. Already up 13-4, and I'm surprised that Marianello is still in this game. And I'm surprised that Hutchinson and many of these Saints are still in this game. We look at this time against RIT, and around now, is when that second team defense, that second team offense came in, just to try and give them a little bit more time, because this one is all Saints.
A 9-goal game. 62 seconds to go in the third quarter. Controlled by Patty Condon, as he's done so often in this game. Controlling the draw has been so huge for the Saints. They have possession, up 13-4. Shot clock isn't a factor here. Ben Hutchinson, the star of the show today, gives it for Nate Stevens. Changes, substitutions coming for St. Lawrence. Ithaca on their heels once again. Now it's Connor Woolley with a touch. The 6-foot senior still looking, now charging inside. He's bumped at by number 9, Ethan Flanagan. Under 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. Behind the net, 5 seconds. 1 second. In front, blocked away by Corrigan, and that will do it for the third quarter. And any momentum that Ithaca thought they had in the late second and early third has just about vanished here.
Yeah, they had a little bit of momentum there, a little bit of juice in them, and they just couldn't pick it back up, and that just shows the strength of the St. Lawrence team. And for the Bombers, at this point, you're not really just playing for today. You're looking ahead now and thinking, is there still a chance left in the Liberty League? And lucky for Ithaca, there is, but it's a very complicated route. Only 5 teams get into the Liberty League tournament. As of right now, the top 4 spots, as always, are going to be RPI, St. Lawrence, RIT, and Union. It's all for the 5 spot between 4 teams, Skidmore, Vassar, Ithaca, and Clarkson. Ithaca is 0-5 in the conference as long as this game holds. Clarkson is 0-4 in conference play with 3 games left. The Bombers, they're going to have to win out. Clarkson against Clarkson and Skidmore. Clarkson has 3 games left on their schedule. They have St. Lawrence, Ithaca, and Vassar. The Bombers need Clarkson, including a win over Clarkson, to drop another one of those games. Obviously, you're looking at Skidmore on that calendar, but even Vassar, a possibility. Skidmore, they're 1-4 in the conference. It wouldn't hurt for Skidmore to lose out. They already lost today to Vassar. They play RPI and Ithaca. You need to win that game, obviously, because if you lose that game, Skidmore moves to 2-5 in conference play, same as Ithaca, but they win the tiebreaker. The Bombers need to win out, and they need a little bit of help on their side from Clarkson, because Vassar's already got those 2 conference wins with the win over Skidmore today. And with that win, and the win over the Bombers already set in the season, Vassar is guaranteed the tiebreaker over Ithaca. So at this point, the Bombers need help from Clarkson, and they need to win out. So you're thinking ahead towards next weekend. You're not even looking at SUNY Cortland. That's a non-conference game on Wednesday at home. You're looking on the road to Clarkson and at home against Skidmore. If you drop one of those, season's over.
Ready for the face-off to start the fourth quarter. And customarily, it's won by Patty Condon. On the near side is Judge Murphy. An incredible season for him, over 40 goals. The Saints in cruise control as Murphy dishes it behind the net. Now to the line, it's Cam Crosdale, another goal scorer for St. Lawrence today. Murphy. Oh, great play, knocked away by P.J. Roth. He's made a couple nice plays defensively. Out of bounds. St. Lawrence, possession still under 40 seconds on the shot clock.
It won't show up on the stat sheet, but a really nice play just to reset the Saints offense, maybe get your defense back on their feet.
It's number 46, Bobby Wells, setting something up after the out-of-bounds play. And Wells with a try off the feed from Murphy, and it goes wide and out of play. 20 seconds on the shot clock and counting. The St. Lawrence looks to add to their lead. It's Murphy moving horizontally. He's looking. He's dishing. 9 on the shot clock. Wells disrupted out in front, and it's collected by the Bombers. Racing into their offensive zone, down 9. Jared Sedlock. Now it's Michael Gillum. Kyle Proctor. 12 goal scorer on the year. About 2 minutes through in this fourth quarter. 13-4 St. Lawrence. Graham Brady now pivoting and giving it up to Jack Giannuzzi.
Bombers offense taking too long. Once again, they just have to get a shot off.
Under 30 seconds on the shot clock. Jack Pastor racing, pivoting, looking for any momentum towards the net. Here is a wild shot by Charlie Niebuhr, high over the net. 19 seconds on the shot clock. They wind the clock as the Bombers inbound. The try is high by Proctor and out of play. 13 seconds on the shot clock. They'll inbound it again. Bombers have had trouble late in the shot clock getting shots. They're under 10 seconds now for a try on net. Racing inside. Tried to go sideways on Marianello is Charlie Niebuhr, and it's no good. St. Lawrence now with the ball and up 9. Looking to keep their Liberty League record unblemished, and they're well on track to do so. Caleb Torres. Gives it behind the net. In front, a try, skipped and wide to the right of the net by Bobby Wells.
Yeah, Bobby Wells tried to be the king of the hill right there, but just pulled it to the wrong side. Saints gets to keep possession, though, so they get to set something up behind.
More like king of the South Hill. Number 34 for St. Lawrence, Judge Murphy. Now to his teammate, David Herlihy. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Under 11:30 to go in this game. Murphy looking and deflected again by Roth on the pass intended for Cam Crosdale. Another nice play by PJ Roth. Just under 20 seconds on the shot clock. That shot by David Herlihy is wide. It'll go out of bounds, and chasing after it is Brian Souza, and he'll put it back into play. 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And a nice play inside by the Bombers to take it away. And that's Roth on the far sideline. In front, Bombers working quickly. A lot of passing at a really quick pace there on that possession, Toby, as Griffin Marks got the ball and then had it disrupted, and the umpires blow their whistles and throw a flag on the field. Yeah, another penalty going to come against St. Lawrence. They're going to send someone to that penalty box, and he's going to have to sit out. Is that the first man-up opportunity for Ithaca today? I think it's their third of today's game. Okay. They were able to... But they haven't scored any of the previous ones. They have struggled to capitalize on those, not just today, but throughout the season. The worst team in the Liberty League at converting those. A 1-minute penalty for Ithaca. And it's against Judge Murphy. That's his third of the season. First time he'll sit out a full minute. All right. Marianello is still in the game in the early going of the fourth quarter. Giannuzzi. Fancy footwork out in front. Nearly deflected by Rogan Cardinal. Under 10.5 to go as the penalty's almost halfway gone. Shot saved and corralled by Marianello out in front as he dishes all the way across the field to Brian Souza. Souza. 20 seconds on the penalty. I don't think Ithaca's going to get another chance with a man-up advantage. Lucas Podvy. St. Lawrence calm and content, up 9 goals. Ithaca, final game of this 4-game gauntlet against ranked opponents. They're staring at 0-4 right now. St. Lawrence doesn't have to push the pace. Zach Corsi setting something up there on the line. He gets it back. He will try. It's deflected out in front. It squibs out of play. Under 30 on the shot clock. Brian Souza puts it back into play. Under 20 seconds on the shot clock. Judge Murphy still out there. Gives it to his teammate, who gets one deflected off the top of the post and back into play right into Murphy's hands. And because it went off the top of the crossbar, the shot clock resets. On the line is Carter Flanagan. Back out to the line, it's Zach Corsi. Corsi pivots, gives it back up near side to Murphy, and his pass is intercepted. Great play there made as Ryan Maher now controls for the Bombers, and some cheering from the crowd.
Well, you got to cheer about something in today's game. Another turnover is going to go back the Saints' way, but the fans, they're going to celebrate anything.
Under 8.5 to go. Collected on the way far side by Tripp Clark. Yet to score a goal on the season.
Trying to get a little fancy with that.
That's right. Backwards pass there, corralled by Cam Crosdale.
Didn't really work, but hey, when you're up by 9 with only 7 minutes to go, you can have a little bit of fun in this contest.
Murphy still out there, giving it up to his teammate, Asa Beach. Murphy looking, shuffling, positioning, dishes it back to Crosdale. Under 30 on the shot clock. Try out in front, and a goal. Asa Beach, his first of the year. 7:30 to go, and it's officially double digits, the lead for St. Lawrence.
Asa Beach with the goal, and he's got to be living on Margaritaville time. Put your feet up. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, 5 o'clock on the South Hill. And for Asa Beach, taking advantage of that tropical name. And the Saints running away with this contest, up by 10, 7:30 to go. And for a school that has had such success in the last few years, they're finding it here today against the Bombers.
Ithaca gains possession off the face-off. Near side, it's Proctor. Proctor inside, being chased by Quinn Fedor, getting some minutes. Now it's Colin Adams, coming from the Ithaca logo, being pestered behind by Owen O'Brien, as St. Lawrence has subbed in some of their non-starters. Under 7 minutes to go, 14-4. St. Lawrence over your Ithaca Bombers. Pivoting is Daniel Mahoney. Colin Adams again. Now a bounce pass inside. I believe that was a try at the net. That one squibs away out of play. It was chased after by Peter Nolan. 23 seconds on the shot clock, under 6.5 to play in this game. Sam Baker. Baker being covered by Lucas Podvy. Working behind the net. Proctor with a nice pass all the way across the field. And it's going to be turned over by
Shot clock
Ithaca.
violation, another one. In this contest, Bombers cannot settle down on the clock.
That is something that Tommy Pierce and assistant coach Torin Vane have to work on in these coming games. 3 more games to go for the Bombers after this. Non-conference SUNY Cortland on the 17th, and two big Liberty League matchups at Clarkson on the 20th and versus Skidmore 7 days later.
They got to win both of those if they want to have an outside shot at the Liberty League tournament. If not, it'll be another year in a row where the Bombers sit on their hands at home while everyone else gets to have fun in the playoffs.
As previously mentioned, have not made the tournament since 2019. St. Lawrence possession up 14-4. In full control has been Niskern. Gives it to Nate Stevens. Stevens swivels. Near side, Judge Murphy, the leader of this team, against making the plays as they've had all season. Connor Woolley drops it and picks it up on the far side. 5 seconds on the shot clock. And St. Lawrence calls their first time out of the game with 4:52 to go on the game clock.
Yeah, this game, a heated rivalry between these two sides, and it's shown out there on the field. St. Lawrence is bringing their all, even in these late stages, up 14-4, and really the entire Liberty League sees these heated rivals between private school and private school, and no one person out there who's got a bit of history with St. Lawrence in these rivalries. That means a little bit more. That would be my own grandmother, Ruth Martin. Ruth Martin went to St. Lawrence University for one semester, eventually dropped out of St. Lawrence, did not like the school, then went to William Jewell out in Missouri. But St. Lawrence holds a special rivalry with the Bombers on the field and a little bit in the press box for these games.
Well, St. Lawrence has dominated from the jump. They lead in obviously goals, assists, shots on goal, ground balls, clears, face-offs. They've committed less turnovers. They've done everything right, and they have all the makings of a contender in the Liberty League.
Yeah, and this is a team that even if they don't win the conference, should earn an at-large bid into the NCAA tournament. They can go far places if they make that bid. Again, this is a Liberty League conference that tends to send a lot of teams deep into tournaments. RIT won the national championship 2 years ago. This is a conference that has a lot of national champions, that has history of winning. That includes Ithaca College, who has a deep, rich history of winning at men's lacrosse. The last few years haven't been kind, but you look back in the history books, you're going to see a lot of blue and white.
The St. Lawrence squad, well coached, led by Mike Mahoney in his 28th season, and Tom Ryan and John O'Connor as well on the staff. This is a well-coached team, and they've shown it as we're under 5 minutes and a shot clock violation for St. Lawrence. They don't mind at all. They know that they're going to win this ball game. Ithaca still pushing, looking for any momentum as Jay Stock brings it into the offensive zone. Nearly turned over behind the net, but saved. Kyle Proctor on the far side. Bringing it back up closer to the center circle. And crouching and receiving the pass is Jack Pastor. 4:15 to go at cloudy Higgins Stadium on the campus of Ithaca College. The home team not doing so well. Pastor with a pass to Charlie Niebuhr. Officials blow their whistles with 4 minutes on the game clock. Some substitutions from both squads as we get down to the final 4 minutes of play. St. Lawrence 14, Ithaca 4. Oh, we have a penalty called. 30 seconds. A man-up opportunity for Ithaca. It was number 31.
It's going to be on Judge Murphy as he'll sit out.
34, yes. Try is wide and high by Chris Kiley. No goals on the season. He'd like to get one late. Proctor in front. Pass is deflected from Kiley, intended for number 40, John Ceramic, and it goes out of bounds. 38 seconds on the play clock. Kiley giving it around to Proctor. .25 seconds on the play clock. Ithaca looking to set anything up. Kiley pivoting. His pass goes wide, and it trickles all the way past the half-field line and St. Lawrence will get possession. It goes right to them. 3 minutes and change to play in a game that was decided long ago.
I think Charlie Niebuhr was like us here in the booth, focused on this ladybug that's been all over the pages, all over Matt's water bottle, our lovely field producer, and now all over the window. And I think he was just focused on something like that and not the ball. He let it roll right by him, and that's a costly mistake, even at this point in the game.
Ithaca, one of their strengths coming into this game is they've committed the third least turnovers in the league. That's not the case today. They've committed far too many. St. Lawrence possession up 10. Try out in front and a goal. It's number 41, Daniel Mahoney, his 13th of the year.
And at this point, it's just put points on the board if you're St. Lawrence. It's all about building that confidence, because after this, the road gets a lot tougher. You get Clarkson, RIT, and RPI on those last two games. Going to be against the top two teams in the Liberty League that you're vying for essentially those days off, those home field advantages, essentially who gets to be the top seed in the Liberty League tournament. And for Mahoney, the son of the coach, he gets a goal in today's contest.
Sure, Mike has to be proud. Final 2:30. Oh, a wacky spinning shot by Charlie Niebuhr goes out of play. You're in the crisp April air of Ithaca, New York. The cold hasn't bothered St. Lawrence, neither has the rain and neither has Ithaca. Domination for St. Lawrence throughout the entire game. They started hot, and they've ended hot. Oh, ricocheted as the shot was made by Ryan Maher, who's yet to have a score on the year, who's looking for his first there with under 2 minutes, but it's saved by Michael Marianello, who figures to go the difference. Actually, excuse me, it's Andrew Vana coming in to make the save. He's now in net for St. Lawrence. 95 seconds to go. Wacky spinning shot. No good, saved by Vana as John Ceramic tried one on net. Charlie Cunningham in the game now. First to touch it in the offensive possession. 15-4, St. Lawrence. Final 60 seconds. A tough game for the Bombers. Couple highlights, couple things to build on, but far too many mistakes. They'll fall to still without a win in the Liberty League. But a 10-second difference shot in game clock. We're under 40 seconds to go here on the South Hill. And St. Lawrence is in no rush. David Herlihy with the ball. Puts it behind the net. And it's a turnover as the pass was intended for Charlie Cunningham. Under 20 seconds to go. Can Ithaca get one last score here? Flag comes down. And the officials will blow their whistles with 11 3/10 to go in this game.
And St. Lawrence will end the game with the player sitting in that penalty box. An unfortunate end for the Saints just because you'd rather not have that. You know, you want to have that clean sheet out of the game. You don't want to have that hanging over your head. But now the Bombers will get a man up for 11.3 seconds. Not sure if it's going to make a difference, but it sure means something for Ithaca.
Max Warren penalized. I'm sure he's smiling on the sideline right now. 5 seconds. Shot goes high and out of bounds with 4.2. One final inbound, maybe one final try on the net of Vana. In front. Trod by Chris Kiley, doesn't go. Elation for the red shirts. A 15-4 final in favor of St. Lawrence.
Yeah, and for the Bombers, now you officially have to turn the page. As we mentioned, we've already gone over some of the math of how they're going to have to get into the Liberty League tournament. Now you got to win out. You're 0-5 in the conference. If you win out, you finish 2-5. You need Clarkson to lose 2 of 3. That includes one against you and a loss to either St. Lawrence or Vassar. If one of those things doesn't happen, or if none of them happen, Bombers miss the tournament again, and the Saints celebrating a huge win. They stay undefeated in the Liberty League, and up next, Clarkson, RIT, and RPI.
For Ithaca, they fall to 6-7 on the season, 0-5 in conference. Their losing streak stretches to 4, which includes all 4 of those nationally ranked opponents. Toby, you'd want them to at least take 1 out of those 4 opponents. They cannot do that. A really tough loss, an 11-goal defeat. And for St. Lawrence, they go to 12-1.